Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded NBA Ranking Show. I am your host, Eric, in the house, the big dog tonight. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Doing good. A lot going on, man, basketball wise. You got the NCAA tournament, right, kicking off
Uh,
with those, whatever you want to call play in tournaments. And then,
yeah, happy March Madness.
right. And then you got NBA basketball, my friend.
Oh,
So we're going to talk a
yes.
lot about the NBA. We're going to talk about your rankings. We've got a Do You Know, Kenny, that I know you always are a fan of. So we will definitely get that going as well. But let's talk first about some of these big. Have you seen that? Did you get to see the Anthony Edwards dunk
I did not. I
last
did not.
night?
I heard it was.
So I got a problem with, and this happened with Blake Griffin back in the day. It's
Oh,
more
yeah.
of a throw in than a dunk. So I don't necessarily like when people call it a dunk.
Hmm.
So when you get an opportunity, you check it out. And people out there, if you're watching us, let us know. Do you think that that is considered or should be considered a dunk? I don't. You remember the
Look
Blake
at it.
Griffin one where he kind of threw it in, but it
Oh,
was
yeah.
right. But like,
Oh,
is that a
yeah.
dunk? You consider that a dunk? I mean, it's a dunking motion, but it's not like to
Yeah.
me.
It's
You're
not,
touching
yeah.
the rim, you're grabbing the rim, something with the rim. You're throwing the
Yeah.
ball in. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know,
Was
Kenny.
Vince was Vince Carter's dunk in the Olympics? Was that a throw in?
So that's what I'm saying.
I, 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 it was still nasty. I've never
I'm not
seen
saying.
some.
I don't know. I got a problem with it, but yeah, I am
I'll
a
look at.
little odd.
I'll look at. I
You know what
heard
I
it
mean?
was
Take a look.
nasty.
Take a look.
Yeah. I
I
look at
liked
it.
his block better a few weeks
Woo!
ago,
His block was nasty.
where he hits his head on the rim as he's blocking and pinning it against the board. To me,
Oh,
that's a play.
that's
I don't
put
know.
his body in the line and he fell to the
Hey.
floor. I thought he wasn't getting up. I was like, oh, he's hurt.
It's all over.
Mm.
All right, let's look at these rankings, my friend. And we've got so obviously this season. I mean, we're in March. We only got about another month before we get into playoff basketball. But you
Four,
got the Minnesota Timberwolves at 5.
weeks. Yeah,
Isn't that crazy to think about?
4 weeks.
Milwaukee.
Altogether, 219 games. Let's
Oh my
go.
goodness, is that not
Let's
insane?
go. Let's go. Let's go.
So Minnesota at 5, Milwaukee Bucks at 4, the Oklahoma City Thunder at 3, which is they. I mean, they've been a phenomenal team. Number 1 team in the West, by the way, right now, record wise, which is crazy to think about. The Celtics dropped to number 2 for second week in a row, and you got the Denver Nuggets at 1, Kenny.
Mhm.
Before we're going to obviously talk about each team individually, but how did you come up with these rankings for this week? And then obviously Jason Tatum, we'll talk about him a little more in the show as well. Just kind of how you got him to your player of the week. So Minnesota in. We've had a few teams drop out now. Bucks consistently now in for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
OKC, best record in the West, but
The
yet
West.
you have them 3. Why Denver
Yeah.
at 1?
Yeah. Just Denver is just they just keep winning. I mean they'll keep up a streak, then they'll win one, then go on a streak and win like 4 or 5 in a row. It's just I don't think no one's unless us beats Denver, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty
So
good.
let's talk about those Minnesota Timberwolves. Currently our 5th place team on our rankings. Again, 47-21 on the season. They have won 3 in a row, 6-4 in their last 10. Anthony Edwards now really starting to, showcase what he can do. We knew there was going to be some issues with the big cat going out with an injury. Can he sustain that? Can he keep this team as a top 5 team in your eyes?
He might. He might. It's amazing how they're 4-2 without Cat. They're 4-2 without Cat. So that is an amazing record. I thought they'd fold. I thought they'd miss their leadership. But this guy, Anthony Edwards, he's the truth.
Right.
He's
And then
grown
again,
up.
you
He's grown
you
up a
still got
lot.
Rudy Gobert, who defensively, right, is still one of the top players in the league. We don't give them enough credit defensively, what they're able to do. And again, I like this team. I just don't know in the West, man. OKC and Denver look so good right now, but Again, Minnesota at 5, 47-21. I think they're second overall in the West. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
right. So you're looking at a team that definitely is trying to make some noise and stay consistent with it. At 4, Kenny, you put the Milwaukee Bucks 44-24 right now. They've won 2 straight, 17 in the last 10. Has Doc now, since he's been integrated into this team as the coach, changed some of that defensive mentality? Are they on the right path now? Is this the second best team in the East?
They're giving up 119 points a game, and that's not Doc. I mean, he's slacking on defense. They give up 119 points. The Bucks, they were a defensive team. I don't know what's going on. I mean, true that they won a couple games without Giannis. They won one game without Giannis, and Chris Middleton came back 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists, I think, or 7 assists. 7 assists. Yeah, but I don't think Doc is defensive minded anymore.
So Dame Lillard, we knew there was going to be some defensive uh, issues with him
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
over from Milwaukee. Right? He's not a Drew
Yeah.
Holiday. He's not that guy that's gonna. Can they muster enough offense, Kenny, to be competitive? Should Boston start to worry about Milwaukee now that Milwaukee's starting to play much better basketball?
Uh, we it's hard to say. I mean, Giannis, no one can stop Giannis, but their defense is suspect. Their defense is lacking. I mean, true, they have Dame, they have Giannis, they have Chris Middleton back, who missed 16 games. So, and it's surprising that the day that he started, he had 34 points, and I'm like, wow, he just came back 16 days off with an injury. But we shall see. But I still
I
think
don't know.
they're lacking that
Does
defensive minus.
so? I would ask you this question, Kenny: does their
Mhm,
experience scare you? I mean, Giannis has won one, right? Bobby
mhm, mhm.
Portis was there when they won it.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Middleton's won it with them.
Mhm, mhm.
Boston again. The one thing that we've talked about is can they get over that playoff hurdle? That's the part of it that scares me a little bit is that Milwaukee's playing better basketball
Yeah,
and it's again at the right time.
yeah, yeah. Well, the last time we faced them, we won by 33. So
Oh
I,
yeah, look at
I,
you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Last time we played Milwaukee, we won by 33. So I
Okay.
don't know.
All
I
right.
I don't know.
All right. So what about
No.
these Oklahoma City Thunder? 47-20.
Mm,
Uh
mm,
best record in the West right now. The number
yeah,
one seed if it ended today. We talked about SGA, man, and an MVP type of season that he's having, but they're getting production from so many different guys, right? You got
yep,
Giddy, you got Holmgren, so is this team legitimate, Kenny? I mean, they've been at the top or one of the top teams in the West the entire season. This isn't
yeah.
like, hey, they just snuck up on people. They've won 2 straight, 7-3 in their last 10. So again, they're playing consistent basketball where you lose a couple here or there, but overall they're winning 7 out of 10 games every time.
And it's crazy. I mean, they're beating top teams. They're beating the Lakers. They've beaten the Phoenix Suns. They've beaten Denver. And I'm like, these kids are for real. These kids are real. They're quick. They're fast, and they play defense. They play defense.
So again, college type of atmosphere, I think in OKC, the
Yep.
young great,
Yes.
and they're just
Yep.
they're having fun.
Yep.
And sometimes that makes a difference. We talk about experience, but those guys sometimes when you get the experience, right, they like to sit back, wait. They know when the games really matter. These kids are playing ball.
Yeah. These kids are playing. Yeah, these kids are
Right.
playing ball.
Right. And can you say, Shea Gillis Alexander, could he be the MVP, Kenny? I mean, most
Yeah.
30-point games or 30 plus games so far this season. I mean,
Right.
the kid's scoring. He doesn't stop.
Yeah. He got that middle jumper, and he can get to the lane, get to the poop anytime he wants to. Believe me, I've seen him play a lot this year, and I'm like, wow, this kid's legit. This kid is really legit. Only problem, lack of defense. Lack of defense. Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. 11.4 turnovers a game. It's not going to do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. That's when everything tightens up. All those turnovers start to cost points.
Yep.
Because you're playing the top echelon teams in the league, and they're going to score. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm surprised to see them, sustain this as long as they have. I really thought it was going to be one of those things where you start to look back and go, okay, it's a nice story, but
yeah,
and yet, to me, they're legitimate. They're legitimately contenders in the West. But let's talk about the top team in the East, top team in the NBA, Kenny. Best record in the league, 54-14. They've won 6 straight, 8-2 in their last 10. The two-headed beast, with Tatum and Brown, hasn't disappointed this season. Seemed like they have a different focus.
Yep.
Question is this, Kenny, and I know we've talked about it a million times.
Yeah.
But now that it's getting to the nitty-gritty, the end of the season, what do they do to be successful in the playoffs? Do they rest guys now to make sure they're ready for the playoffs? You think they just go full throttle throughout the season?
We go full throttle and use the bench, because you know what? Guys off this bench are producing. I was worried about it at first. I was like, oh, we don't have a bench, no one can score. But you got Double P out there. He is lighting it up.
Right. Even Hauser's had some big games. Right.
He just had 33 points yesterday.
Yeah.
Because Paul was out. I mean, Paul. Yeah. Okay. Tatum.
Paul was out. Chris Paul was out.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Paul or Paul Pierce? Which one?
Paul Pierce. Yeah.
I will ask you this question though: do you sit Porzingis more though?
No.
You need Porzingis in the playoffs.
No. Yeah,
this team does not win.
You're right.
In the postseason without Porzingis.
You're right.
And he's still having those nagging injuries, right? Missed a few games now with a hamstring.
Yep.
We've seen some issues throughout the season.
Yeah.
I'm not as worried about Tatum or Brown, right? You want to sit him a game every 5th game, 6th game, just to kind of get him, little less mileage on the tires. That's all right. But Porzingis scares me because he is the unicorn. That's his nickname, but you see the matchups.
Yeah.
And what he's able to do. He brings you out and he can shoot from distance, but he can still post you up. He's still a defensive presence in the lane.
Yep.
They cannot afford to lose Kristaps Porzingis.
No.
Would you, if you're the head coach, if you're Joe Mazzulla right now, how are you handling Porzingis for this stretch run here in the last month or so?
With kid gloves.
Right?
With kid gloves. I mean, if he's aching, just rest him, because Al Horford is doing a tremendous job coming in. And what, I can't even think of the other center's name that comes off the bench.
Who was the kid yesterday?
What's his
name? Big goofy kid.
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
I'm drawing a blank, my friend. I'm looking it up. While you keep I'll look it up.
Me too.
I'll look it up.
Oh my God. His name's on the tip of my tongue. I should have wrote it down because I wanted to talk about him. Oh,
I got it, buddy. Hold on.
Got it.
We are looking at one Mr. Luke Cornett.
Yes.
Right?
Luke Cornett. He had 8 last week. He had 8 blocks in one game. One game. He came off the bench and had 8 blocks. And I'm like, yo, why didn't this dude play Joker?
Yeah.
Why didn't they match this guy up with Joker?
Yeah.
That's a game we could have won. We should have won. We needed to win. He should have been out on the court.
Yeah. No, listen.
When you block 8 shots in one game, you defensive minded.
Yeah. Listen, the kid's definitely, listen, I think you've seen Derek White. Really, that trade last year anyway, I thought was a really good move. But you see now, like, what a piece of the puzzle. So they have a starting 5, but they got a 6th man that can help run that bench, facilitate for them defensively, right? He's defensive minded along with Drew Holiday.
Yep.
You don't need them to score.
Nope.
Whatever they add is a bonus.
Yeah.
Again, my fear is Porzingis. I love this team. I think this is the best Celtics team we've seen with Tatum Brown.
Yes. It's
right? Like,
yeah. Yes.
And it's no fluke. And a lot of people are talking about should they go after the wins record, from the 07 Celtics. And I mean, realistically, it's a possibility. They could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked at it this way. So I heard them debating this morning or this afternoon on the radio. And I said, why would you go for the wins record if the Boston Bruins, who had the best win record total last season for the NHL in NHL history, what did that equate to? A loss in the first round. Yeah. I don't care what Boston does right now in the regular season. That's why when we were talking about rest, if you sit and they lose 5 games out of the next 10, I'm not as concerned.
Me neither.
And to me, I'd rather say, look, I don't care about winning 60-something games. I care more about what you're going to be able to do in the postseason as a Celtic fan. And I think most Celtic fans would agree with that. Right now, the regular season means nothing. They look phenomenal. Yeah. They look like the best team in basketball. But, 7-game series, you go down to 0-3 again to a Miami, you may not be able to come out of that like you did last year. So, like where you put them.
But we play so well at home. We play so good at home.
What, 3 losses all season?
Right? We play so good at home. It's just like home cooking is just there. I mean, they rotate that ball. They shoot the 3. Live by the 3, die by the 3. So we'll see.
That's been their motto. That's a Joe Mazzulla offense. And
yeah.
Again, come postseason, those shots don't fall. That's where we saw some problems too. But again, regular season right now, the second-ranked team. But you have, Kenny, the defending champions at number 1, 47-21. They lost their last game, but 8-2 in their last 10. So they've been on a good streak here in the last 10 games. Jokic, obviously, probably the best player in the league. MVP, right? Probably the number 1 candidate for that as well. Are they the team again to get back to the finals?
Oh yeah, they're 11-2 since the All-Star break, which is tremendous, which is outstanding. 11-2 since the All-Star break. I don't know what they were eating down there in Indiana, but they was eating something. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I think Jokic. Here's where we talked about the experience thing, and I don't think they played so hard the first few months of the year.
No.
I mean, they had a good record, but they didn't sit back. And now you're seeing them amp up their production, play better defense, right? More consistent. So I think that's why we see Denver where they're at now. Question to you would be Boston 6 straight. Do they take over the 1 seed next week?
Boston? Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Right.
I'm still worried about Denver's bench. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about their bench. If their bench doesn't spark, they're not going to repeat. I don't think they'll repeat anyways, because their bench is totally different than last year. You got no Jeff Green, and Jeff Green was a great piece.
Yeah, and what Brown was a big piece off the bench last year for him. He's no longer there.
Yep.
And again, I think that's where Boston has the advantage this year. They've got guys producing off the bench. Yep. They've got the role players.
Yep.
And you see it with so many teams that win the championship. It's not always necessarily your starters have a big piece of it. But if you get 25 to 30% production from your bench, so those guys get some rest, that usually spells victories.
Yeah.
I think Denver has a tougher path. That's where I would agree with you that to repeat, you still got to go through OKC, who we said is very hot. Minnesota, very good defensively, maybe with Cat back at that point, Karl Anthony Towns. So again, and then you're still looking at those bottom seed teams.
Ooh, Phoenix, Lakers,
right? Golden State, right? Those are teams that, again, though they get hot at the right time. You get the chef cooking.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, he could ruin a series for you.
Yep.
Whereas Boston, to me, the real threat to them is Milwaukee, and that's about it.
Yep. That's about it.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Cleveland's been good, but inconsistent at times. The Knicks, again, same thing. They're starting to come back down to earth. I could see Boston get out of the East. I find it harder to see Denver getting out of the West.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see. But let's
Yeah.
bring your list back up, Kenny. And again, Minnesota at 5 this week. The Milwaukee Bucks at 4. Oklahoma City Thunder at 3. The Boston Celtics at 2. Denver Nuggets at 1. Again, good shot. Boston may regain that top spot based on what they do this week. You did have, though, Kenny, one Mr. Jason Tatum as your player of the week.
Yeah.
So my question to you is why? Because I will tell you right now, he was excited about it. He gave you a thumbs up. He said, you know what, Kenny, I like that pick. I think you got it right this week. So Jason Tatum is your player of the week.
Yeah.
What have you seen differently this season from Jason Tatum that maybe you hadn't seen in the past?
Him taking it to the basket a lot. Shooting 46% from 3. He's doing an excellent job. The West trip was dismal. You know, I think we went 1-4. But as soon as he got back home, he took care of business. Then they gave him a night off. So even though I know Kyrie made a amazing shot, I didn't see that coming at all. And I was like, what happened? Did he just what? He made an amazing shot, but we try not to say Kyrie, us Celtics fans. You know, we not try.
Yeah, and I would say this though, Kenny, do you not see more leadership this year from Jason Tatum? Like, there's points in times where last year you seen him take a step back or not want the spotlight or kind of just, you know, maybe facilitate more to other players to try to get them involved. And even when he's struggling, he's still trying to score.
Yeah.
He's still playing solid defense. He's still, you know, communicating with the team. So I think that's where you're seeing the difference with Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
So my question would be to you this, Kenny. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. He's matured a lot. He said himself he doesn't want to take over games, but in the playoffs, he's going to have to. And when we're down 4 or 5 points and there's like a minute and a half left, he has the bear down and take over games. He said himself he's the best player in the league right now. So he has to, when he has to take over games, he has to.
And I think that's where you said it perfect, right? Mindset, his mentality is now, I am a top 5 player in this league. Regardless of what people think, if it's in his mind, that's a big step for him. Because I felt like before he was just happy to be right there in the association.
Yeah.
Now it's not so much. Now it's like, hey, this is my show. I don't still think he's the top echelon of he's in the conversation for a top 10 player.
Yep.
Possibly 5 in that top 5.
Yep.
All right, Kenny. So we're going to have some fun. We like to do this every show. And we got Do You Know, Kenny. So I'm going to ask you a series of 3 questions. And I wanted to make it a little easier for you because the last time struggled a little bit, my friend. I want to try to get you, right? I want to try to get you to at least get one of these right. At least one.
Oh.
All right?
Okay. All right.
So, first question. Which team has had the most MVPs in NBA history? So Jason Tatum's up for an MVP possibly this year, right? Jokic is one. We know the Bulls with Jordan and the Lakers with all their great players. Which team has had the most MVPs in NBA history?
Oh, MVPs in NBA history. I'm going with the Lakers.
Lakers. Okay.
I'm going with Lakers.
All right, my friend. And I will tell you that you are incorrect. It is your Boston Celtics. They have 10.
What?
They've had 10 MVPs.
10.
So you got to remember, back in the day, Mr. Russell.
Oh, Russell.
Bill Russell. Larry
Oh
Bird's won it,
man.
right? So they've had some guys. So 10 MVPs for the Boston Celtics, leads in NBA history. The Lakers are second with 8.
Okay.
Second with 8, but Boston
What
Celtics.
What a Bill win, like 6? 6?
I think
7?
he won it. He won a bunch. Yeah, he's the majority of that. Bird's got 3.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? Bill
Kevin
Russell
Garnett has 1.
Yeah, so I don't think he won it with Boston as an MVP though.
Oh, he didn't. He
He
didn't.
did
That's
not.
right.
I think it was
He didn't. He didn't.
it was
That's right.
either
You're right.
not why am I drawing a blank right now?
You're right.
Who's the dribbler? Bob Cousy. I think Bob Cousy won one.
Cool.
So,
okay.
Coos. But
Okay.
again, your Boston Celtics, Kenny,
Wow. I did not know that. 10
have won the most MVPs. All right, my
7.
friend.
Okay. All right.
Kenny,
Yeah.
your
I'm
second
ready.
question.
Yep.
Who was the first rookie of the year for the Boston Celtics? So who was the first Celtic to win rookie of the year?
Oh, Jesus. Oh. Wow. That must have been way back.
I'm trying to make this easy for you, man.
It must have
I
been
will
way
say,
back.
I will give you the year 56, 57.
56. Tommy Heinsohn?
Is that your guess?
Was it Tommy?
Is that your guess? Is
Yeah,
that your guess?
yeah, I'm going with Tommy.
That is your guess. Kenny, you got one, my friend. Tommy Heinsohn, 1956-57 was the first rookie of the year ever in Boston Celtics history.
Yeah, R.I.P. Tommy. When you said 56, 57, I was like, oh, yeah, that's got to be Tommy.
Right?
That's got
Tommy,
to be Tommy.
Tommy point for you, Kenny, on that one. Tommy point.
Yeah,
all
boy.
right, my friend. So Tommy Heinsohn, the first rookie of the year in Boston Celtics history, 1956, 1957. You know, God rest his soul. One of the best. One of the best.
Yep.
And probably one of the best commentators in
Yes.
basketball history.
Yes.
I mean, if you couldn't get emotional and feel a game when Tommy was calling it, I used
right?
to love when he get on the refs.
Oh, yes.
And you'd just be sitting there like you could see it. You could see it. Tommy Heinsohn.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
I love Walter.
All right. So 1-1. Let's see if you can finish off strong, my friend.
All right, let's go. I'm ready.
Who has scored the most points in a game for the Boston Celtics in their history? And then maybe we do a 1B on this question. Do you know how many points? Most points in a game for the Boston Celtics in their history. Which player?
In a game.
Not practice.
We're talking about games.
We're talking about a game, right?
I'm going to go with Kevin McHale.
Kevin McHale is your guess. Do you want to guess how many points?
Kevin McHale, 68.
Okay.
68.
All right. So I am sorry, my friend, you are incorrect. And it's a trick question as well. 2 players in Celtics history have had the most points in a game, and that would be one Mr. Larry Bird and one Mr. Jason Tatum. Both have scored 60 points in a game.
Oh,
the most in Celtics history. You do have a little piece of it, though. McHale went out one night.
Yep. And scored 59.
Scored, I think it was 58.
58
or 59, somewhere in there.
59.
And then Bird came out the next game and scored the 60 against the Atlanta Hawks because he was not going to let McHale beat him.
Yes. Yep.
So you almost had it.
I should have had it.
Yeah. Bird and Tatum both have had 60 points in a game, the most in Boston Celtics history. My friend. That was a good one, though.
It's a good one.
Look at Larry. Looks so good there.
Right.
All right, my friend. That has been our show, the NBA ranking show, brought to you by Sports Unfolded, the greatest sports podcast in the world,
Yes.
on the planet,
On the
anywhere,
planet,
the universe, wherever you want to go. All right,
Yep.
Kenny, I want to first of all thank you. Last week, Friday nights, our normally regularly scheduled program, every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Rhode Island Broadcasting. You covered for me while I was out trying to, get some free agents in Las Vegas for the New England Patriots. Didn't go so well. Sorry to say. Almost worked the trade, get very close. And then Devontae Adams said, Jacoby Brissett's my quarterback, forget it. So, I tried, though. Thank you to the Patriots organization. But, Kenny, I want to honestly thank you for taking the time this Friday to take care of that. Look forward to working with you soon. Again, we've got NBA draft, NFL draft coming up. So that's next month. We're going to have a nice show for that. Live watch party.
32 days. 32 days.
Live watch party while the picks are being picked. We will discuss them. We're going to have some fun with that next month. So get ready for that, Kenny. And then we're going to have some more NBA. NBA playoffs. We got to talk playoffs when they come. So we'll definitely make sure we get involved in that. If you are watching our show now, join us live this Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting, where we cover all of the top sports topics going on in the sports world today. So we cover everything from the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and anything in between. We will talk some college basketball this week. We will definitely talk about some NFL signings. A lot of moves have happened in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, the NBA and everything that's going on. And my hockey guy, Ron, will join us for all of the best hockey insight that you could possibly get. If you like everything you're seeing, follow us. That little tick has told you all the different ways you can follow our show. Share this show. Make sure you continue to help us grow. So important to us to continue to grow. And we're going on the radio waves too. So we will be on the air. That is coming up shortly. Next couple of weeks, we will be live. Well, not live, but rebroadcast on radio. So excited about that as well. But Kenny, and you'll be a part of that as well. So I will see you soon.
Yes.
We'll break down some more NBA. Check out all our NBA rankings. Every Monday night they come out, as well as our NHL rankings. And Major League Baseball is right around the corner. So we got Major League Baseball rankings coming as well. My main man, Mickey. And I'm looking forward to that as well. So, Kenny, you have a great night. Thank you for taking some time with me tonight. Everybody that's joined us live, thank you for watching. And then remember, if you're watching us afterwards, follow us, share us, everything you can do to help support Sports Unfolded. All we ever ask for at the end of every show is peace on earth.
Peace.